Ala, 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 class.
Satyaj, you're audible. Okay.
Sir, what are we doing today?
Yeah. Uh, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's great. So, the previous
Sir,
class,
what are we doing
yes,
today?
I'm responding to that, don't worry. So, in the previous class, sir might have completed this compound interest. So, in sequence, we'll be going further. So, today we'll be starting with statistics. Okay.
Sir, what are we going to do after all the chapters are over?
Doubt solving, paper solving, doubt solving. Okay, that depends on
Okay,
how
sir.
much time, how much more time do we have, how much more sessions do we have. So accordingly, we can plan. So the first priority is to complete the syllabus, and then later we'll be doing doubt solving, paper solving, and all those things. Okay, subjected to the availability of time.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so today we are going to start the next chapter that is nothing but statistics. In the singular sense, it is a subject as a branch of knowledge to be used in collecting, analyzing, presenting, interpreting some numerical data information. So basically क्या होता है? Some data, मतलब it can be any data, okay? Any random number of data if you wish to collect that data, and if you wish to present that data, if you wish to collect that data, if you wish to analyze that data, if you wish to present that data and interpret मतलब क्या वो मतलब वो डेटा से हमें क्या सीख मिलता है, what kind of lesson are we getting from the data, so is there anything bad coming or is there anything good coming out of it, so we come to know these things. For example, if you wish to take let's say number of vehicles on road, okay, number of cars on road, if you wish to take the number of cars in your city, whichever XYZ city you're living in. So if you wish to take the number of cars, so you will collect the data. You will go building by building. Okay, building number one, it has let's say 20 cars. Building number two, it has let's say 50 cars. Building number three, it has only 5 cars. Building number four, it has let's say 40 cars, and so on. You will collect maybe 100 buildings. You'll like, for example, just I'm giving you a rough example. So 100 nature, small number I'll consider. Building number five, you take, let's say, you have 100 cars over there. So you you have collected some data. Now this is called as collection of data. Okay, this is a part of statistics. Okay, you are collecting some data, and then maybe you want to analyze. Now analysis कैसे हो सकता है? The Either you can take the total number of cars and you can find out कि how many cars you have in the city. This is one type of analysis. Okay, तो उसमें से पता चल जाएगा कि टोटल कितने cars है सिटी में. Otherwise, you'll say, okay, fine, 5 buildings है तो इतने cars है. So on an average, so the first type of analysis is total number of cars. Second type of analysis is on an average how many cars are there per building. Then you can maybe consider how many models of cars are there, how many different companies of cars are there. Let's say Benz is one company, Audi is another company, and let's say Volkswagen is another company, Toyota is another company, Maruti Suzuki is another company. So all these companies you can analyze. So these मतलब डिपेंड करता है तुम्हारे जरूरत के ऊपर. सो व्हाट इज योर नीड. सो whenever we are going to create a statistics, we are very sure कि हम श्योर है कि हमें क्या चाहिए. वी आर वेरी श्योर. इन दिस केस अगर आपको सिर्फ इतना जानना है कि एक सिटी में कितने कार्स है, सो ऑल यू हैव टू डू इज फाइंड द टोटल नंबर ऑफ कार्स. 5 बिल्डिंग्स के जितने भी नंबर्स रहेंगे उन सबको सिंपली ऐड करो. वट एवर इज योर आंसर, दैट इज योर एंड रिजल्ट. योर स्टैटिस्टिक्स एंड्स ओवर देयर. बट if somebody is asking, okay, fine, average कितने cars है per building, then you go for the second type of calculation. If somebody is asking how many brands are there, then you go for the third calculation. So, which calculations are you supposed to do? That depends on what is your end requirement. What is your ultimate requirement based on which you have started the statistics. So, statistics are basically collecting the data, then analyzing. Analyzing means average निकालना है, नहीं निकालना है. Then presenting. आप एनालाइज करोगे, एवरेज निकालोगे, देन ऑब्वियसली यू विल प्रेजेंट इट समवेयर, बिकॉज डेटा निकाल के ऐसे ही हाथ में थोड़ी रखना है. वी विल हैव टू डिस्कस इट विद अदर पीपल एंड देन इंटरप्रेट द मीनिंग ऑफ इट. मीनिंग क्या इंटरप्रेट करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ समबडी सेइंग कि बेंज बहुत सारे हैं, बेंज सबसे ज्यादा बेंज और ऑडी है, बाकी सब कम है, which means high class people like rich cars are more as compared to the medium cars, which means the society is a rich society comparatively. People will say rich. So what are we doing? We are interpreting the people around there based on the data what we have collected. सो हमने क्या किया, सिर्फ कार्स के ब्रांड्स निकाले और ब्रांड्स के बेसिस पे वी आर इंटरप्रेटिंग कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा रिच लोग यहाँ पर रहेंगे. देयर माइट बी मोर एंड मोर रिच पीपल. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज इंटरप्रिटेशन. इट्स कॉल्ड एज गेसिंग और मे बी राउंडिंग अप और मे बी कंक्लूडिंग और या बेस्ड ऑन द डेटा विच यू हैव कलेक्टेड. ओके. So basically, the statistics gives us or maybe helps us to summarize a huge number of data we have around here. In Google also, if you'll search key in India, how much like how many percentage of rich people are there or how many percentage of poor people are there, if you do some kind of Google search like that, you will get an answer. Maybe some XYZ percentage of rich people are there, some XYZ percentage of median middle class are there, some XYZ percentage of poor people are there, poor, middle class, and rich. Some percentage you will get. Okay, some X percent, and X percent. Now, how did they calculate what is the percentage of rich? In the same manner they have calculated. They might have taken the population, then they might have taken the range of annual income, then they might have taken some average, they might have done some calculations after that. That is called as analyzing. They might have presented this data, and after presentation they might have done some interpretation. Based on the interpretation, they are saying that the rich ka number of percentage is this much, middle class is this much percentage, and poor is this much percentage. Okay, this is the summary of statistics. Statistics helps us to combine huge chunk of data, okay, and summarize things. In plural sense, it implies the collection of numerical data in a systematic manner with some definite object in view. जैसे मैंने ऑलरेडी बोला, हमको पहले से ही पता होना चाहिए कि हम किस चीज के लिए कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं. Why are we collecting? We should know. Then only we can do the calculations according to them. Some of the terms used in the statistics are given below. So, while learning about statistics, you need to know certain terminologies, terms, yeah, words. Terms means words. Okay. Now, mean is a term. What is the mean का मतलब क्या होता है? What is mean? Mean means average. It is also called as arithmetic mean. In simple language, average. For example, if you have marks obtained in 5 different subjects, let's say 62, 73, 90, 65, and 70. Find the means find the average. So how do you find the average? You add all the values in the numerator and you divide it by total number of samples. How many samples you have? One, two, three, four, five. Five samples, since you have written five over here. So this is how you find the average. Average मतलब mean. Average and mean दोनों same होता है. Hmm? So mean is equal to total value, that is 360 divided by 5, that gives you 72. So mean's value is 72. So this is how you calculate. So mean matlab average. Is this much clear for you guys? Sorry,
Yes, sir.
that's great. Okay. Now, the second terminology which we need to know is called as raw data. Raw matlab कच्चा. Okay. कच्चा मतलब it is not processed. उसको as it is उठाया गया. कच्चा है वो, पकाया नहीं अभी तक उसको. It is not cooked yet. The information as it was collected in its raw form is called as raw data. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे कि मैंने आपको बोला नंबर ऑफ कार्स आप अगर आप कलेक्ट कर रहे हो ए बिल्डिंग में कितना 20 कार्स है, बी बिल्डिंग में सो एंड सो कार्स है वगैरह वगैरह, दिस डेटा इज कॉल्ड एज रॉ डेटा बिकॉज इट इज जैसे आपने कलेक्ट किया वैसे उसी फॉर्म में है. यू हैव नॉट डन एनी काइंड ऑफ कैलकुलेशंस इन दैट, एनी काइंड ऑफ चेंजेस, नो नो काइंड ऑफ चेंजेस you have done on that data, hence it is called as raw data. The third terminology which we need to know is classification of data. Raw data is analyzed and grouped according to a, just a minute. Yeah, it is analyzed and grouped according to certain qualities or characteristics in a tabular form. This is called as classification. जैसे मैंने ऑलरेडी बोला, आपने पता किया है कि 20 कार्स है, वो कार्स है, ये कार्स है, तो पता किया. Now, this can be grouped. How it can be grouped? I will say building number one has 20 cars, building number two has this many cars, building number three has this many cars. So this is also type of grouping. First building का ये group हो गया, second building का ये group हो गया, 50 cars, third building का let's say 100 cars, something like that. So this is one type of grouping. Another type of grouping is what Mercedes Benz जितने हैं, let's say 10 Benz, let's say 25 Audi, let's say Volkswagen, they have 15, and so on. So this is another type of grouping. So what is happening? You're collecting the data, and based on the information given in the data, you're grouping them. Maybe you can also group in terms of color, white color, let's say 10 white color car, blue color, let's say 5 blue color, then black color, you might have 50 black color car, something like that. So this is another type of grouping. So कौन से टाइप में ग्रुपिंग करना है वो टोटली आपके रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से. In the beginning only I told you, you should know why are you collecting the data. Then only you can decide कि ग्रुपिंग करना है तो कैसे करना है. बिल्डिंग के हिसाब से ग्रुपिंग करना है, ब्रांड के हिसाब से ग्रुपिंग करना है, कलर के हिसाब से ग्रुपिंग करना है, कैसे करना है. But anyway, this process of grouping the data is called as classification of data. Yes, Siddharth, what is your query? Siddharth, I think you have raised your hand, but
Yes, sir. I have a doubt.
yeah,
Sir, in the table which is given in the example, in statistics, when we write frequency, we draw those bars to represent frequency, right? Like one, two, three, four, and then two, like four straight lines, and then one slanting line to represent frequency, like that.
don't worry, I'll come to that point. Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, sir.
I'm yet to come to that point. I will explain that time. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So next topic is frequency. Frequency means the number of times a characteristic appears in a data. I'll give you an example. 10 students scored the following marks out of 10 in a class test. So these are the marks. This is student number one ka marks. This is student number two, student number three, four, five, six, and so on. Okay. Now, uh, okay, fine. How many times has 7 repeated in the whole set of data? You see that 7 has repeated only once. Wait, just a minute. इसमें 7 के इधर 0 क्यों लिखा है? I think it's a mistake. 7 has repeated once. Okay. So frequency means number of repetition. In short, it is the number of times a characteristic. Characteristic means data. Some data appears, okay, or has been repeated is called as frequency. For example, okay, मैं दूसरा example बाद में तो पहले ये example complete कर लेता हूँ. For example, in this case, 7 is scored by only one student. No other student has scored 7. So 7 has been scored only once. उसका occurrence एक ही बार हुआ है. 6 has been scored. So 7 को मैं काट रहा हूँ just to identify कि किसको काटा किसको रखा है. 6 has been scored 1 and 2. Two times. Hence 6 के इधर I'll write 2, which is already written. 5 has been scored 1,
Sir,
2, and 3. Three times.
sir,
Hence I've 3. Hence I've
sir.
written 3. Just a minute, Satyaj. I'm explaining something. Just a minute. 3 has been scored only once. I'll write 1. 2 has been scored only once. I'll write 1. 4 has been scored only once. I'll write 1. 10 has been scored only once. I'll write 1. But I don't see 9 being scored, so this is a printing error. Probably this is 0. Okay. Rest all the scores have been completed. So these are the rest all the scores have been completed. 8 score नहीं हुआ है, 9 score नहीं हुआ है. 6 has been scored twice, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, बाकी सब तो बराबर ही लग रहा है. 3 plus 3, 6. Yeah, it's correct. Yes, Satyaj, tell me what's your doubt.
Yes, sir. I was just going to point out that 9 wasn't there in the table.
Okay, no problem.
I mean, the data.
Yeah. Student with an ID FB1007. What's your query?
Sir, I have a doubt that how are the frequency used in real life?
Yeah, we have just started beta. Don't worry about real life. We will definitely cover so many problems that your doubt will be cleared itself. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. So this concept is called as frequency. Now, थोड़ी देर पहले I just gave you some example, right? So about cars and all. So let's say speaking about Benz, Maruti, Volkswagen, okay, sorry, VW, Volkswagen. I'm just speaking about three brands now. Now you said, okay, you're writing data. You counted that there are five Benz. You counted that there are like 10 Marutis and let's say seven Volkswagen, for example, or maybe six Volkswagen. Now, this is also called as frequency because you saw that there are one, two, three, four, five Benz cars standing in a line. You saw that, even though it is not in a line, but in a building, you saw that there are five Benz cars parked in the parking area. Hence, you have written five. So the Benz cars have been repeated five times. Benz, 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 Benz. Five times the Benz cars have been repeated. Hence, you have written five. So, five in this case is frequency. So, any data, if it is repeated, we call it as characteristic. Any characteristic, if it is repeated. Now, in case of the car collection, what is the characteristic? Each and every car is a characteristic. If you speak about counting the population of India, each and every human being is a characteristic, and so on. Okay. So this is the frequency of Benz car. This is the frequency of Maruti. This is the frequency of Volkswagen. Now, what happens, here we have written the numerical format. This can also be written in one more format. Now, what happens? Sometimes what happens, पांच Benz आपको एक साथ दिखा नहीं होगा. Probably you might have seen two Benz. आप लिखोगे two. Then you saw one more Benz. Then इसको आप काटोगे, you'll make it three. Then you saw one more Benz. इसको भी आप काट के you'll write four. Then you saw one more Benz after some time. इसको भी काट के आप 5 लिखोगे. मतलब डायरेक्टली सब एक साथ नहीं दिखता है. सो समटाइम्स क्या होता है, टू बेंज दिखता है. देन यू मे सी वन मारुति. Then suddenly you see one more Benz. Then suddenly you see maybe two Volkswagen. Then suddenly you see three more Maruti. You'll cut this and one plus three, you'll write four. Then suddenly you'll see two more Benz. इसको कट करके 5 करोगे. Then suddenly you'll see two more Marutis. इसको कट करके 2 ऐड करेंगे तो 4 plus 2 कितना हो गया, 6. ऐसे पूरा खिचड़ी बनाने को अच्छा नहीं लगता. So instead of doing that, we have one more method to record the data while marking the frequency. That method is what? Bar method. Okay, it's a very simple method. Whenever you're counting something and you're not sure कि वो कितना है, कितना कितने तक जा सकता है, आपको पता नहीं है, आपको काउंट करते रहना है. तो whenever you see a car, आप एक लाइन ड्रॉ करना. ओके, मारुति दिखा, मारुति में एक लाइन ड्रॉ करो. बेंज, उसके आगे और दो दिखे, इफ यू सॉ टू मोर, यू ड्रॉ टू मोर लाइन्स. फिर मारुति अपने चार देख लिया आगे, वन, टू, थ्री, और एक डालना है ना. डालने के लिए तो मैं और एक डाल सकता हूँ, लेकिन क्या ऐसे में डालते रहूंगा तो वो भी तो कंफ्यूजिंग है ना. ऐसे डालते रहूंगा तो दैट इज कंफ्यूजिंग. सो व्हाट आई विल डू, द सिस्टम सेज यू मेक अ ग्रुप ऑफ फाइव. So whenever you feel that there are four standing lines already, instead of drawing the fifth standing line, you just draw a slant line. This slant line means this is a group of five. Then उसके बाद थोड़ा जगह छोड़ के you start the next standing line like this. Six, seven, eight, nine. Then tenth one ऐसा जाएगा. So this is another group of five. वापस. So 5 plus 5, 10 हो गया. Then 11, 12, 13, 14, then 15. Another group of five. Then 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Another group of five. So this is also a technique which you can use to count the frequency. Now, in this case, if I see one more Maruti, what I'll do, I already have four lines. So instead of drawing the fifth line, I'll draw a slant line. So this will tell me I don't have to write five. I will automatically understand कि हाँ भाई five हो गया. Now, if I see one more Maruti, I'll again draw a line. If I see one more Maruti, I'll draw a line. If I see a Benz, I'll draw a line. If I three Volkswagen together, I'll draw three lines. If I see one more Benz, I'll draw a slant line, which means five हो गया. If I'll see one more Maruti, I'll draw one more line. If I'll see one more Volkswagen, I'll draw a line. देन एक और मारुति दिखाई दिया, एक और लाइन बना दिया. एक और फोक्सवैगन दिखाई दिया, ये मार दिया, विच मीन्स इट्स फाइव. एक और मारुति दिखाई दिया, ऐसे कर दिया. तो इट बिकम्स वेरी कन्वीनियंट फॉर अस टू टेक द रियल काउंट, बिकॉज सारे के सारे कार ब्रांड के हिसाब से कहीं पर पार्क नहीं होते. नोबडी पार्क्स देयर कार्स इन अ ग्रुप बेस्ड ऑन द ब्रांड्स. Everybody parks their cars in the designated spot which they have, and that car can be of any brand. It doesn't matter which spot they are parking. So hence, this method will help us to draft real-time data. It will help us to record the data without doing any cutting and all. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. So, yes. I explained you what is a frequency. I explained you how to record the frequency of any particular data. Okay. Now here is another example in which the method which I've already um, taught you, it is shown over here. Okay. The minimum temperature in degrees Celsius during the day at Pune is recorded for 30 days, which is given below. 30 days के लिए record किया. So कभी 16.1 है तो कभी 16.2, 16.3, 4, 7 ऐसे ऐसे चलता गया. So the temperature they have written over here 16.1 से लेकर 16.9 तक. Now 16.1 I can see one times. I'll write a bar over here. This is 16.3. So 16.3 के इधर I'll draw one more bar. It's called as tally mark. Okay. 16.4 I'll draw one more tally mark. 16.7 I'll draw one tally mark over here. 16.2 again I'll draw one tally mark. 16.4 I'll draw one more tally mark. 16.5 I'll draw one tally mark. 16.6 tally. 16.5 one more tally. 16.4 one more tally. 16.6 tally. 16.8 tally. 16.6 tally. 16.8, tally 16.5, tally 16.8, tally 16.5, tally 16.9, tally 16.9, tally 16.5, cross, because it's a group of five. Four tally marks के बाद fifth tally mark नहीं बनाना है, you have to cross it. Now we understand that it's a group of five. 16.3, tally 16.6, 1, 2, 3. So fourth one, 4, 16.7, tally 16.5, sixth one, 16.6, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one, 16.7, tally 16.6, tally 16.5, tally 16.6, tally 16.4, tally. Now, then what these are the tally marks. तो इसमें से फ्रीक्वेंसी कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे? जो भी आपने टैली मार्क्स लिखा है उसको इधर नंबर्स में लिखो. दिस विल करस्पॉन्ड टू 1, दिस विल करस्पॉन्ड टू 1, दिस विल करस्पॉन्ड टू 2 because there are two tally marks. Here we have 4 tally marks. Here we have 5 plus 2 7. Here we have 5 plus 2 7. Here we have 3. Here we have 3. Here we have 2. When you add them totally you'll get 30. Yes, 30 days का recording है. So hence you'll get 30 over here. Any doubt so far?
No, sir.
Okay. Now here is another example. Okay. हाँ. Hmm, just a minute. Here is another example where you have some set of marks given. So 72 is one mark. So uh, in this case, if you observe, the numbers are ranging from 9 to 72 or maybe I don't know 80 वगैरह है क्या? 78 I can see, 86 I can see. So roughly 1 to 100 का range है. So if you write 1, 2, 3, 4 ऐसे ऐसे करके 100 तक लिखेंगे, imagine करो यार कितने rows लगेंगे. मतलब so much of space will be required to record such a huge data. So when the ranges मतलब when the numbers are in so many range, तो उस टाइम पर क्या करेंगे? Instead of considering 1 के लिए separate row और सेपरेट सेक्शन, 2 के लिए सेपरेट सेक्शन, ऐसे कंसिडर करने की जगह पे वी कैन कंसिडर इट लाइक दिस. 1 to 10, one range. Okay, this range is called as class. Okay, 11 to 20, another range. 21 to 30, another one. Then 31 to 40, 41 to 50, 51 to 60, ऐसे करके we can reach till 100. So what happens? Instead of consuming
Sir,
100 rows, just a minute, we will be consuming only 10 rows. Tell me. Tell me, what's your doubt?
sir, but what if somebody wants to know that what is the number between 1 to 10 that has been recorded as frequency 1 then?
Then you have to create that longer method. ऐसा 100 पूरा lines बनाना पड़ेगा. But yes, that is why we create statistics. While we create statistics, we must know what we need. हमारे need के हिसाब से हम बनाएंगे. So if you want to know each and every marks, तो 1 to 100 तक पूरा मतलब each and every marks का frequency, then 1 to 100 तक पूरा ही लिखना पड़ेगा. You don't have any option.
Okay, sir, got it.
Understood? Yeah. But practically speaking, nobody will want that. जैसे कि आपके सामने एक लंबा सा पेज मैंने दे दिया and I've written 100 lines of data, will you be able to practically read all of them? You won't be able to read.
Sir, so we can read just what we need, right? For
Yes,
example, if I want to know that how many people scored 72 out of 100, so I'll just go to the 72nd row and just check the frequency. And
yes, you can do that. Yes, yes, definitely. But again, उसमें दूसरा problem क्या होता है? If I'm creating this document and giving it to you, then वो document संभालने के लिए you need more space. Now this we are talking about only one data. ऐसे you might be dealing with hundreds of different data. So 100 lines के 100 documents I'll be giving you, or maybe 1,000 documents I'll be giving you. It will consume more space, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's why in general people never prefer to have, huge data or maybe very detailed data. Statistics is a theory
Okay, sir.
which is
Got it.
help. You understood?
Got it.
Statistics is a theory which is helping us to summarize the data, not expand the data. We want to summarize it. So 40 स्टूडेंट्स जब होते हैं अपने
Okay,
क्लास
sir.
में, 40 स्टूडेंट्स जब होते हैं अपने क्लास में, तो किसी को फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है कि किसने 70 स्कोर किया और किसने 71 स्कोर किया। दे जस्ट नीड एक रफ आइडिया चाहिए कि हाँ लगभग कितने बच्चे रहेंगे जो पास हुए हैं, लगभग कितने बच्चे हैं जो फेल हुए हैं, लगभग कितने बच्चे रहेंगे जो 90 के ऊपर स्कोर किया। दैट्स इट। उसके ऊपर तो किसी को नहीं जानना।
Oh, okay, sir. Got it. Got it.
ठीक है। ओके, सो कमिंग बैक ओवर हियर फॉर क्लास 1 to 10। तो ऐसे ऐसे ग्रुप डिवाइड किया, तो पहला डेटा इज 72। 72 देखिए, व्हाट यू डू, 71 to 80 में वन टैली मार्क यूल ड्रॉ। Then 9 you see, 1 to 10 में you'll draw one tally mark. 86 देखोगे, then you'll draw one tally mark over here, and so on. You'll draw all the tally marks, and then based on the tally marks, you'll write the frequency numbers like 1, 2, 3. Then here I have 5 plus 1 6. Here I have 5 plus 3 8. Here I have 5 plus 4 9. Here 5 plus 1 2. Wait, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3। अरे ये तो 8 लग रहा है। 61 to 70 कितने देख लेते। 61 to 70,
Physical book it is given correct.
is it 8?
Sir, it is
No.
7 only.
But one tally mark is less, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. So this is the printing error. This is an extra tally mark which has been made by mistake. Okay. So yeah. So ऐसे tally mark करते करते you will find the frequency, and then in the end when you'll add, ये total कितना डेटा है, 40 डेटा है, तो सारे के सारे frequency को जब आप ऐड करोगे you should get 40 as your answer. That is this. I hope it's clear. Okay.
Yes, sir. Clear. We can move to the next topic.
Okay, that's great.
Sir, class is going.
Yeah, let's do one thing. Let's exit the meeting and join again.